Today's video, we're going to talk about how to reach new customers and clients on Google search when you already have lots of them. This isn't going to be simply about uploading your customer list or client list to Google in order to get more out of Google. I am also going to talk about that. There's things though that people have, they just don't know about that process that can make the way more money and how it actually makes you more money. But there's also several other ways if you've got customers or clients or even just contacts of people that you quoted, reached out to you. You can use all that data to make a lot of money on Google Ads, more than you normally would for your business, and just make money in ways that you just in general couldn't make that if you didn't have customers or clients starting out in general. I'll go through what these techniques are on this video. If you stay to the end of the video, I will give you real case study examples of how we use these techniques, how much money they actually made. But before I get into the content, my name is Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a online advertising agency that specializes in managing online ads and guaranteeing results for clients. We do not charge our clients management fees until we get them a certain lift in their profitability up front on their campaigns or to a certain level of break-evenness on their campaigns if it's a new campaign and we agree to work on that for a client. And then with that, the reason why we're able to guarantee results for our clients is that I have 20 years of online advertising experience, 10 of which is through the firm here at Guaranteed PPC, where I do nothing but strategy for different accounts and online ad campaigns that we run. I'll tell you about my experience with customer lists, using them to our fullest advantage for the clients at our firm and to make money. So Google search ads work so much better when you start out with an existing customer list or client list. Why is that? Okay, first of all, the reason why that is because you have an information advantage that other people that are just starting out a business do not have. If you are new in business, you don't realize how much different your business gets as you just are in business. You realize things that you wanted or thought you were going to offer in the beginning should be something else or should be offered in a totally different way. Also, what you find out is who you're selling to is different. And that also changes a lot because you learned that, for instance, you raise your pricing, you got to work with totally different people. You realize who your customers actually are, that is, or who the customers who are really the best customers, who they actually are. The people that spend, that might be at a certain income level, have certain traits, hobbies, tendencies, behaviors. All of that information should and can be used to make your advertising better at your company. Not just your Google search ads, but all your advertising efforts itself. And very few people are also using any data on people that just contact them as well. With that said, there are two major reasons now getting into the actual strategy as to why and how you can use an actual customer list or client list at your company to make Google search ads highly profitable for your company. And I'm going to start with mentioning the customer list itself tells you how to run your ads. That is for three separate individual reasons. The first of which is through data expansion companies that you can work with. Still shocks me to this day, people that are in business, they still don't really know who their customer is. They've been in business for 10 years already, they still don't really know who their customer is. If this is you, you've been in business a while, you should be taking that customer list or client list that you have and taking it to a data expansion provider, which if you don't have one or want to find one after watching this video, contact me in the comment section. I get back to everybody who leaves me a question in the comment section, and I'll tell you who you can use specifically for that and link to their business. But basically what the premise of this is you take your email list, first and last names itself can also work, but email list, phone number list, you take this to a data expansion company. They're actually then good at taking the information you give it and then expanding on what else these individual people have. The main company that we typically will use is Axicom. They have access to, frankly, the most data, which is why we're going to use them, and they're going to provide the best expansion of our data. But what you ultimately have is, let's say you have a list of 10,000 customers. You give them the email address list of all these people that have been your customers in the past, and they'll tell you if they like fast food or not, whether they like going to football games or not, whether they have a retirement plan or IRA or whatever, or not. At least with Axicom, there's 40,000 plus unique individual traits that they track on the general US populace. And so when you give them your customer list, they'll tell you how many of the 40,000 individual unique traits that the customer has. And then, naturally what you can do with that, once you have that data, is you can correlate that particular data together and find out what are the most common traits that match up between all of your customer list, which you can use software to do that, and ultimately find, okay, these 3 traits right here are the most common between all the customers. And so therefore, I can use that to make my advertising more efficient, shutting off stuff that doesn't have this, or bidding more for people that do have these traits. But you get the general idea. Naturally, what you do once you have that information, if you have a Google search campaign running already, you go in there right away and you start shutting stuff off, just like I said. Certain income demographics, certain age demographics. With the audience menu inside Google Ads, a lot of people don't know they can do this, but you can add an audience on people who are typically your customer, like fast food. You can add fast food lovers as an audience on your search campaign, and then do a plus 900% bid adjustment. So anybody who comes through who searches for your keywords that you're targeting, effectively guarantee your ad shows up if they like fast food. You can do negative correlated adjustments as well, such as, just as it sounds, you can actually find out the traits that least likely match up with these people. That is, if most customers who are your best customers, because you can technically do this at 2 levels. People who are your most ideal customers or just your customers in general, but you can find out almost all of your customers that you want to do business with have at least 100K income. Well, then you could go ahead and then add a negative 90% bid adjustment on anybody who doesn't have that to downgrade everybody that is at that level, or just shut it off. At the household income level, you can shut it off. Or you find out that people who like football are not your customers, and you add a negative 90% bid adjustment on that. So if anybody comes through and likes football, you're going to be bidding less with that. Now, normally you need manual bidding to make this possible. These bid adjustments will take it into effect, but you get the general idea of what you can do with all of this, okay? That is one way a customer list can make your search campaigns more profitable. You can also use it for, I'll skip this algorithmic training here for a second, list-based targeting. Let's say, going back to the previous example that I gave you, that you find out that almost everybody on your customer list has 100K a year plus income and they like football, okay? What you could go and do then is go to an Axicom, again, the same data broker I mentioned before, or a list broker like Nextmark mailing lists, and you could say, hey, I want an email list of every single person you got that's 100K plus in income and likes football. And what you, out of a 400 million US population, what you can often end up with then is like 2 million people who fit both of those criteria. With that, now you can run an advertising campaign surrounding specifically that. And what you do then, as if we're talking about display ads, which we're not really necessarily talking about today, you can run a campaign just to that list, uploading it to Facebook, uploading it to Google itself to run display ads, which basically banner ads, video ads to get in front of those people. And you can use that to run a campaign. As it comes to search ads though, what we're talking about in today's video, you actually can then upload that list and then do a plus 900% bid adjustment on it again, while also combining that with a reduction in your keyword bids, so that effectively, where you lower your keyword bids by 90%. So effectively your bids are not high enough on your keywords to allow you to show for your keywords unless they're on that list. If they are on that list, then now your bid's the same bid as it was. So effectively, let's say if you were bidding before $1 per click, you can have it to where you're bidding 10 cents per click if a person isn't on your list. But if they are on your list, now you're willing to bid $1 per click. So your ads will run the way that they always were, but only if they're on this list. We use this a lot of times in the B2B space. Why? Because there's specific buyers in the B2B space, particularly when you're dealing with people that, a lot of times what you're fighting with that is you need people with money. It costs a lot to hire high-end services. A lot of companies don't have money to just plunk down to get it. So what do? You actually go out there and you get a list of your buyers, whether that be a list of 1,000, 10,000 people, upload it, and then you use that for your targeting using the method I talked about. technically it's a little bit of a gray area strategy because you're supposed to be using first party data in these lists, but I mean, you could do it and your list might get shut down at a certain point. I have to tell you about that up front. But if you have no other choice to make your ad campaign profitable, you do what you got to do, because the other alternative is you make nothing and you have nothing to lose. That's one way you take customer data, transform, find out more about your customers, then use it to build a list, then use the list for targeting of your search campaigns to make more money on Google search with pre-existing customers. The other way that you're going to use past customers that you've had to increase profitability out of Google search ads that you can get is through algorithmic training. This is a term you're going to hear a lot more of in the future. These algorithms, just like you go on Facebook, and what you look at is going to dictate what you see more of in the future on the newsfeed. With that said, the ads that show on Google search, they're all run off an algorithm as well. They look at every single person who either clicks or doesn't click on an ad and whose ad gets clicked that comes through Google. It's database somewhere, and they're looking at the people who click versus don't click, so that when somebody searches for a keyword, they algorithmically predict if that person's likely to click on an ad or not. If they are, they're going to show ads. If they're not going to show any ads, so they don't burn people out on ads all the time. And so that when people see the ads and click on them, they are likely to get a good experience, so that when they see ads in the future, they're more likely to click on ads in the future. And then within that, they're going to, if a person does look like they will be helped by an ad and want to see an ad, they're going to identify which ad should show. In a competitive market, there's 15 guys as ads cycling out of the top 4 ad spots on Google. And whether your ad gets shown or somebody else's has to do with click-through rate of your ad previously, particularly for a person that has the traits of the person that's searching. Whether the person like that in the past has converted on your landing page that you're taking them to. Every single person who clicks on your ad gets stored in a database somewhere as well. With all this said, understanding that this is all run off an algorithm in real time, somebody comes through it, the algorithm decides who ads get shown, if ads get shown. They also try to show people's ads that do a good job with their advertisers to encourage them to stick around, which means your conversion rate higher if you're on Google's good side. You can take the customer list that you have, upload it to Google. There are systems going to look at the customer list that you have and use it to make quicker decisions as to who should see your ad and who shouldn't see your ad, because their goal is to, as much as they can, optimize the search results for their users so that they get an overall better experience. So they come back to the search engine at a higher rate or the highest rate possible. When you start out as an advertiser, the algorithm that runs the ads, the ad serving algorithm, only knows so much about you as a player. When you upload your customer list, they find out a whole lot more with the same level of click data that you have, so they can more accurately decide where your ad should place in terms of what type of person that's likely to click on your ad and buy, before you've spent a lot of money to get a lot more click data where they would kind of figure that out on their own. A lot of people think customer lists that they upload to Google are about being able to show Google who's your customer so that they can have your ad show for your customer. And as a result of that, they can drain more money from your wallet because you're paying to get your own customers. And there is some small element to that, but that's just a small piece of everything that's going on. They're using the customer data you have for algorithmic modeling the customers that you have, similar to how the data expansion companies do it in terms of you giving the data to them and you using it as a manual strategist to decide where your ad should show, where it shouldn't. The algorithm's doing the same exact thing, if you will. It's like paying for, let's say, $100,000 worth of ads to run to collect data when you upload a list of 100,000 customers, because it's clicks you didn't have to pay for the algorithm to understand and get data from, if you will. More importantly, than being able to upload your customer list to Google to use it to, let's say, Google, if my customer comes through that's on this list, I'm willing to pay 100% more per click. Instead of having my ad show up 75% of the time, that is 75% impression share, these particular customers come through, I want 99% impression share, and I'm willing to pay twice as much per click as I normally am, because I know those people are 4 times more likely to convert into a sale, so therefore I am willing to pay twice as much for a click for these people. You can do that, but you also can use it to train the algorithm so it figures out sooner how to get you the results you want by training that algorithm to understand exactly who's your customer and who's not. If you're just running Google ads, that's the only way you're getting customers, they're going to see all those customers coming in. But if you get customers elsewhere and then you feed the customer data you're getting from other sources into Google Ads, they're going to get a much better picture of who buys from you, therefore who your ad should show up for and who it shouldn't show up for much quicker. As it comes to algorithms and how well they are doing their job and getting to the end goal of what they're going for, the more data that you have, the better. 10,000 customers is going to get you better results than 100,000 customers, and a million is going to do better than 100,000, and it keeps going. So your goal is to want to get the most out of your search ads for your company, funnel in every single customer that you get into the ad platform, ideally in real time. You can use a software like DriftRock to take customer data out of your back-end shopping cart, or if you're generating leads, feeding the leads you're getting from other sources that you know are qualified. A human's verified, yes, this is a qualified lead. Yes, we want more leads like this because it's a type of lead that we want to sell to. Then you feed that data back into your ad account. The ad account's going to get smarter quicker than simply looking at the data it's acquiring on the ads that you're running by itself. That's how you use customer data, past clients, if you will, to get more results from your search ads, okay? So that's the first overall main way that you're going to get more results on Google search when you have past customers to start with when you are running your ads at the beginning, or even down the line if you've been running your ads for a while to get even more using a customer list if you haven't uploaded your customer list to the system and you haven't done all the things that I said. By the way, if you want some help uploading your customer list data, getting your customer list data into Google Ads in real time, wanting to get leads that you marked qualified into your account so you can use it to improve your results, this is stuff we do every day at our firm. Reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. Be happy to have a conversation with you about it, as well as getting you guaranteed results on your ads, which is our primary thing that we do here at our firm. We also sell ad templates. If we've already worked in your niche market, we've started a program where we can just sell the ad templates that work for your market. If you're a plumber, we've already ran millions of dollars worth of ads in the plumbing space. You can take the winning ad, landing page, campaign template, all of it, copy paste it into your account, get the same results we're getting, which are phenomenal results, and you didn't have to really do anything other than buy the template from us outright that we sell. We've got 100 plus niche market templates. If you want to start a business, that's the best, easiest way to start. It's like having a business in a box, basically speaking, because you're starting out not only just knowing what to do, but that it actually sells. It's not that, maybe I can make ads work for this. We've got the ads, proven they worked. We can tell you the results they got before you bought the template, all of it, in terms of cost per lead, ROI, all that stuff. Anyway, if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. We got people using these templates to start other businesses, including lead selling businesses where they're just selling leads to other business owners, which is a great passive income business idea, by the way. With that said, getting back to the topic at hand here though, if you got customers, you can make search ads more profitable through also upselling and cross-selling and making that easier. What you simply do, like legitimately a lot of times easier to get yourself to the next level in your business, to not figure out how to sell more of what you have now, but to sell an ancillary offer or product that you haven't sold before, or even service. So with that said, okay, we had a client who had product development. If you're trying to design a new product, go to this company, they do it. Well, a lot of times what people need in that space is patents, to patent the idea. Well, this company doesn't do patents. So what do? They just link up with the patent firm and then they have turnkey extra money. Now, I will say this isn't everything in a bag of chips by itself, because you can actually go off the deep end with this. And you could be a plumbing company, and now we offer cleaning services and this to our customers. And you can actually get to the point where you water down your services to where your brand isn't your brand anymore. There's a lot of directly connected services that tie in with your service that when people buy this service, they generally need another. Start offering that service through a partner, white label the service. And with that, if you upload your customer list to Google and they start searching for a patent attorney, and they've dealt with you in the past, you can have your ad saying, hey, we offer patent advice too. You're going to be first in line for that business. And all you had to do was upload your customer list, use the customer list plus 900% bid adjustment, and with a keyword bid reduction by 90% to make sure your ad only shows up for patent attorneys, patent advice, and whatnot, those related keywords, unless they're on your customer list. And now you have a campaign that it can beat all the competition, all the other patent attorneys, because once somebody knows, likes, and trusts you, they're at least 5 times as likely to do business with you on that, because they already like and know and trust you. It's not a risk. Why go through trying to take a risk and evaluate another firm when, oh, you actually do that as well? Okay, of course I'll do that. So that's another interesting way that you can use customer data or past customers in your company to get even more customers. And then you can just figure out, okay, when people buy my thing, what else do they usually buy in tandem? If you're selling product, then you figure out what else that they need or want or whatnot there. If you sell pottery equipment seller before, and with that, the guy sells pottery equipment. Well, what do people need when they buy pottery equipment? They also need the raw materials to make pottery as well. And then once you get into doing that, what can you do? You can sell pottery making courses, and which is something that we legitimately had a client do. Again, it's not to say it's always the answer, but you should always be thinking about all options all the time. People make a mistake, they get to where they have a good idea and they just go for it. No, what you should be doing before you make any moves in your business, strategy-wise, is map out all the stuff you can do and find the most likely to work, most profitable, easiest thing to do, and go after that first, even if it's not the most sexiest. It's way easier in business. See people falling for this mistake all the time, to hit lots and lots of singles one after another than trying to hit a freaking grand slam with your crazy ass business idea. 99% of the time won't work. There's so many obvious ways to hit a single. It's not even a risk. It just takes longer and more work to do all the singles one after another, which is why people want to go with the grand slam. They want to run, tying it to our business that we're in, advertising management. They want one ad that's just going to get them rich. And the reality is it's running one ad for a person who's evaluating competitor product XYZ and watching a video about product XYZ that we offer them the directly comparable product that we sell and explain why it's better and having a unique ad just for them. And then that'll siphon a trickle of cash to us ongoing once it's set up. And then doing it for another competitor, then doing it for, this guy. You get the idea. It's very rare we'll make millions of dollars in a company through one ad. It's a whole bunch of different ads and setting up one strategy, taking the money from that to parlay into another strategy, and then keep doing that again and again and again. We've got 50 times as many companies doing that, made millions of dollars on the back of our services, than finding that one ad that just crushed it. And usually if you have the one ad that just crushes it, it's a general product or service that like almost anybody can use and nobody else offers it. Meaning, so it doesn't take that much sophistication in your advertising strategy to get the ads to show up for the right people and to have it work and all of that jazz. So you might as well just get it out of your head. If that's what you're trying to do, you just forget about it. You're gonna have to put the work in to run many ads, hyper targeted to people who need specific things, and as a result of that, be more relevant than your competitors, and then therefore make money from the ad space that the other competitor couldn't make. Anyway, with this, going back to uploading your customer list to Google search ads to have your ad pop up for people that want ancillary products or services, you obviously need to have a large list. I'm going to say don't even do it unless you have a 10,000 list. But that said, it could be qualified leads as well. Going back to what I was saying before though, think about, okay, what's easier to do? Is it easier to run another ad or find another place to run an ad for our products or services that we have now? Should maybe we try TikTok ads? Maybe we should try LinkedIn ads, or maybe we should just come up with an ancillary product or service that people that we normally sell to will buy. We'll put it on our website. Therefore, some people will notice it. We'll send out emails to our customers. Some people will buy it that way. Then we'll also run our search ads for it, knowing that all the people that have bought from us in the past, if they come to Google to search for it, they're going to buy it from us. Maybe that's the better option to get to the next stage in your business with the least amount of effort, least amount of time and money it took to get there. With that said, if you think this information is good, I've got tons of other information on this channel about how to make millions of dollars running ads, the actual steps that it takes. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, you should, so if that is your goal, there's no excuse not to subscribe to this channel, because this information on this channel is coming from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing, and that's my sole job at our advertising firm. So you're getting real information, whereas most of these bozos on YouTube and whatnot, they're selling courses and they ain't running no ads. And information's just made up. So if you want real information, you want to subscribe to this channel. You also want to check out my blog, because my blog actually has strategies we use to guarantee clients results. If you want to know how we guarantee results for our clients, read the blog, because it tells you the type of stuff we're doing and how to actually do it with step-by-step instructions, with screenshots, with everything you need to do them. And of course, if you don't quite know about what the next thing you should do, you can always leave a comment in the comment section. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel as well. So if you want to know anything about this or another marketing or advertising related topic, don't be afraid to leave me a question in the comment section. I get back to everybody. I do that just as a way of saying thank you for watching the channel and helping the channel grow, for that matter. I said by the end of the video that I would have some actual case studies where a client was actually getting, how much money, how successful can you be doing this? We had a client who sold a software, and they've been around for a long time. It's like a server management software. We uploaded all of the customer data to Google, okay? Just by uploading the customer data list to Google in a competitive space where cost per click is in the tens of dollars per click, okay? Customer list of 10 to 20,000 in terms of the list size itself. How much did this affect our Google search ads that we were running? Well, we're paying 70 to 80 to 90 bucks a lead. How much did this affect things? Okay. The answer to that question is not too much. However, what did happen is we got a lot more leads. And when I say a lot more leads, over the next 12 months roughly, we were able to double the amount of leads that we were getting, roughly speaking, on a monthly basis by using that customer list to tell Google, hey, ultimately, these are the type of customers that buy from us, that's bought from us for years, and that, normally like and want our product out of all the people searching for this server optimization software. So if somebody comes in looking like this, you should bid more. Part of what we did to get results is we tracked whether a lead was qualified or not, and we fed that information into the Google as well to steer the ads, and not just whether a lead booked a demo or requested a demo. With that said, when Google was getting in front of the right person that was more likely to be a qualified prospect, they were more able to successfully scale our ads. They figured out, oh, I understand now. The people that turn into a demo at a high rate or a qualified lead at a high rate, they actually have these set of traits that I didn't realize before with the data I already had, that if we just have the ad show up every single time, if they have these 3 traits over here, that they basically turn into a qualified lead every time. And that therefore, anybody comes through with these 3 traits right here, that the ad should show up basically every time, even if we have to double or triple our bid to get there every time. That's how the customer list, as I mentioned before, is going to get you more results. It can actually reduce your cost per click if that's the direction you wanted to go. In our case, we were already happy with 70, 80, 90 bucks per lead. So we're just using the capability of the customer list to scale. Whereas we could easily went and brought that down to 30, 40, 50 bucks a lead if that's what we needed to be profitable. I talked about it a million times on this channel. You need to know your cost per lead or your ROI. You need to be profitable before you advertise. One that's reasonable, because you'll make more money with a reasonable goal there, and then just scaling as much as you can, than trying to get like a 2,000% ROI or something ridiculously crazy like that. And then only doing a little bit of business because it's extremely hard to find traffic sources to deliver that level of ROI. Anyway, that is one perfect example of how the customer list is going to help you make more money from what you're doing. The product development company, that was a real example as well of, or should I say, was a real example that I gave you. They offered patents on the side, or patent consulting, helping with filing, patent filed, how to actually get it done right and whatnot, working with an outside firm for that. They didn't do it directly. And they started running the Google search ads for that on the side. Whereas running the ads for that on the side, the ROI wasn't great. Once we uploaded the customer list and used anybody who's bought from them in the past, which this company's been around decades, a very long time, which gave us the capability to actually have a customer list that's significant enough to make this even halfway profitable for us, because it was able to bring in decent volume, if you will. This actually did bring in a lot of more new customers a month at the cost per conversion that we needed. Selling to customers, in terms of the conversion rate and the lead closing rate, customers versus people that weren't customers that were looking for patent help, when we started running ads for, before using the customer list to filter who the ad shows up for, and after, and having the ad only show up for people that were interested in a patent or patent help that were our customers already, the cost per lead was more than double what it was for people who were not a customer before than people that were past customers. Between 2 and 3 times more expensive per deal closing for people that were customers versus not customers. Respectively, anybody who needs a product designed eventually will probably need a patent. Well, at that time, you obviously want them. Not everybody's gonna be able to just know that you offer a patent service. Yeah, you could send them an email. You could send them 10 emails about this. They're not always going to know that you offer it. So if they come through Google, You got to have your ad there. It's just not good to have the ad generally running for everybody who's not a customer, or in our case, it wasn't profitable to even offer the service to non-customers, so we just offered it to customers. In some cases, you'll offer it to customers and non-customers. You'll just have your ad show up closer to 100% of the time for customers, and that'll be your way to make more money than you could otherwise. So you could go kind of either way there. It can either make you more sales than you would have got otherwise, or just make a service that's normally not worth promoting to non-customers because it's not profitable, and make it profitable, at least on the customers you've dealt with in the past. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Gives you some examples of what can be done, how it can be done. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said bid adjustment was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.